Yo, what's going on, guys? Jay here. So I just want to make another video real quick about how to get better at Call of Duty, specifically Modern Warfare 3, because that is currently what we are playing at the moment. Now, quick disclaimer, in the background I'm going to show you me going from one lobby into another to show I'm not reverse boosting. I know reverse boosting is a hot topic at the moment, so I just want you to see I'm not doing that. And the reason I want you to see I'm not doing that is because I have a game of Shipment, and I go 32 and 3 with the KV inhibitor while going for the camo that requires 3 kills with 1 magazine 10 times. So I just want to make that real quick disclaimer. So I hope you enjoy the footage in the background that you're about to see, because it was one hell of a game. I go on a 17 kill streak at one point. Anyways, tip number 1, play the game often. It really is as plain and simple as that. Naturally, the more you play a game, the better you will become. Now, with this game, especially first person shooters in general, to be honest, if you take a day or two's break, when you come back, your aim is going to be off. It's not going to be great. So, the more you can play, the better you will stay, I suppose, if that makes sense. If you play for 4 hours on, say, the Monday, and then take a break till Wednesday and then play 2 hours, those 2 hours are going to be a pain for you, because it's probably going to take you the best part of between half an hour and an hour to warm up, especially with SBMM being in the game and being so high that, within that first half an hour to an hour, it's actually likely you're not going to get that many kills, because you're probably going to die quicker than you can aim in, sort of thing. Yeah, it's kind of hard to explain, but the more you play, the better you'll become. Now, I'm not going to go into it too much in this video, but there is a way I like to practice in private match against bots that I find really helpful, especially if I've taken a large break, or even if I'm having those days where I'm like, wow, my aim is crap just now, it's really shite, so I want to go into a game and practice, and I have a specific setup that I like to do. And yeah, I mean, I can make a video on that in the future, but it's something that you guys can do as well, is go into a private match and practice against bots. The more you play it, the better you become. Unfortunately, most of us have jobs. I also work 9 till 5:30 Monday to Friday. That's not including travel time. So, I can't play this game that much. Yes, I would say I'm a bit above average, and I can certainly pop off, especially in the game that you're watching in the background. But yeah, it happens. So anyway, tip number 1 is to play the game regularly. Tip number 2 is settings. Now, I'm just going to very quickly advise you, what I would recommend you do not do is go and look up settings on YouTube. Literally, play around with the settings and see where you get to. You need to play around with your own settings and see what works for you. Do not YouTube what settings to use. I'm going to very quickly tell you what mine's are. So, my sensitivity is 1212. Now, briefly, a lot of pro players will tell you to either use 55, 66, or 77. Now, the reason I don't like using that low of a sensitivity is because it does actually put you at a disadvantage. Now, the reason it puts you at a disadvantage, the lower you are, is because, yes, fine, if you're playing 6.6 sensitivity, right, and you're running around the map, because your sensitivity is lower, it's going to be easier for you to be directly looking at a player, aim in and shoot them and potentially kill them, right? Your sensitivity is lower, so locking on, or initially locking on to the enemy, is going to be easier. That's fine, right? Brilliant. That means you win more gunfights. Not really, because I would say, in my opinion, I've mastered 12-12 sensitivity, right? But what I can do that those guys that play at 7-7 can't is, if I'm getting shot from the side or from behind, I can turn around and snap onto those enemies a lot quicker. Now, would I play better at 4-4 sensitivity? 5-5, 6-6 sensitivity? Potentially. But, in those circumstances, which actually happens more often than you think, I'm going to have to turn around and, I'm not going to kill them because I can't turn fast enough. My ADS sensitivity is at 1.25. It was at 1.3, but I had to tone it down slightly because it wasn't really working for me. Now, again, the reason I have my ADS sensitivity at 1.25 is because I like to be able to be shooting at one person and very quickly snap onto someone else if I have to. Now, a lot of pro players will tell you to reduce that to below 1. I disagree, but I'm not a pro player, right? So don't listen to me. Practice with your own settings and see what works for you. Honestly, you just do what you can, practice, and see what works for you. The last and final tip, right, costs money, unfortunately, and it's to buy a scuff controller. Now, I've bought the Sony version, can't even remember what it's called, I can't be bothered going to check, but I've got the Sony one at £210, and it is fantastic. It gives me an advantage because I can jump shot and drop shot with ease. Now, if you don't want to buy a scuff controller, then what you can do is you can change your button layout to tactical, which allows you to use your right analog stick. If you hold that in, you will be able to drop shot, but that is very awkward. I don't know if you've ever tried to aim at the same time as pushing that analog stick in, the right analog stick, but it's very jarring. I wouldn't recommend it. But yeah, a scuff controller will really, really improve your gameplay, and it will make you as good as everyone else. You will not be at a disadvantage, but each to their own. Anyway, guys, take it easy. I'll see you next time.